What's better than free furniture? I'm gonna tell you. Free furniture you can customize and sell to make a profit. The process typically starts with my son and I heading out to do a furniture pickup, but this time it was a little different. I had a follower, Sylvia. She had reached out and offered to donate a dresser she had, but she didn't want anymore. What I love about my amazing supporters is the fact that I get offered so much donated furniture to the point where I don't even have to go searching on Marketplace anymore. It finds me, and I love y'all for that. Although this piece was free, it had a lot of work needing to be done. There were deep scratches, missing hardware, the drawer glides were broken. I knew that I was gonna have my hands full, which is why I put it off since last June. Finally, she caught my attention on the right day. I saw her collecting dust and I felt bad, so I pulled her out and I said, let's get this done. We start with the good cleaning, which Jay typically handles. We get the hardware removed, fill those holes, address any repairs. So all of those scratches I sanded down and I filled with wood filler, then sanded some more. I primed, but I still wasn't happy. I still could see some of that damage through the primer, so I knew even with paint, it was gonna be present, so I filled some more, sanded again until I felt like I was at a good point to start painting, but unfortunately, there was still too much damage for my liking. So I used my Bondo spot putty to fill any areas, which was a lot, but it did get the job done. And then when it came to the drawer fronts, I was able to carefully sand down all of that damage. However, with the base, I wasn't so lucky. One side had split and then there was a lot of warping, I'm assuming from water damage. So I just decided to scratch that and I would build my own base. It actually worked itself out though, because I didn't like how low the dresser sat to the ground and I didn't want to just throw on any basic legs, which is okay to do, but adding a custom base really elevates the piece and it's a great way to increase my chances at a higher sale. So I whipped that together in about an hour and a half, which is really good if I do say so myself. And then I moved on to staining the drawer fronts. I used Minwax's stain in the color Natural. This color is great at adding just enough warmth back to your piece without making it look like that dated orangey look. And it's good at highlighting the wood grain detail. Like you can see here, normally I do use it when I build my custom bases. I applied it here. I just wasn't feeling it with the vibe of what I had going on. So I actually ended up painting over it with the same paint I used on the dresser. Next obstacle up was addressing these missing drawer glides, which I decided to just make my own, mimicking the existing glides and using some scrap wood. Marking everything off and then using my oscillating tool, I was able to make those cuts and then replicate exactly what I needed. This is another one of those tasks that I know can seem intimidating, especially if you're new to this. I know it was for me, but honestly, this took me about 15 to 20 minutes and it saved me a lot of money because drawer glides are not cheap. Now, if you've been here a while, you know about this table saw and it's been sitting here ever since, but guess what? I busted it out. One of the drawers also had a missing track that I needed to replace, so I made my own. This was also a first. It took me about 45 minutes, maybe an hour after watching YouTube, but I got it done. Once I get to installing the drawer liners, that means I am nearing the end of the project. I'm just working on final details like touching up the edges of the drawers with paint. I am wiping on polyurethane on all the drawer fronts. You see how it gives it a nice golden sheen. The dresser was missing some hardware and I searched the entire World Wide Web and could not find it. So I ended up splurging on this hardware for the piece. I really love it though, so I'm not mad about it. If you have a dresser where your drawers are constantly falling out when you open them, you can just install some of these plastic drawer stops and it will catch your drawers so they're not falling all over the place. Now we're at the point where we're giving the piece one last good cleaning. That means vacuuming the drawers and the inside of the dresser, moisturizing the drawer sides and the inside of the dresser, the drawer tracks, the drawer glides, especially because there's contact there. And of course, for a little razzle dazzle, we're going to add our custom logo stamp to the inside of one of the drawers. Now remember, this is the beginning. She was rough. She was in really rough shape, but here she is now, thriving and looking beautiful. I repaired the damage, replaced the missing drawer glides and tracks, added drawer liners, replaced the hardware, built a custom base, spent about $250 and maybe around 11-ish hours. How much do you think I should sell it for?